So welcome everyone to the Temple of Consciousness. I'm Ava. Please come in. Today we're going to do our continued series on the Major Arcana, the 22 cards of the Major Arcana, investigating the symbols of each card as they relate to our spiritual journey from lower consciousness to higher consciousness. Now, everybody must be familiar, if you have been studying tarot for a while, that this is about self-mastery, overcoming our baser instincts. But in this ongoing saga, which is the story told by the Major Arcana of this ascension of spirit, first the descent of spirit and then the ascension of spirit, we have arrived now at the 8th card, Strength. Now these are all related to each other. These cards are related to each other as would be one chapter in a novel related to the next chapter. So what this card is a part of a trinity created by the 6th and the 7th card. So the 6th, 7th, and 8th card create a trinity. Sort of tells a little story that is involved with their energy, their symbols. Because at the 6th card, we were introduced to the idea of sin via the Lover's card. The Lovers depict Adam and Eve and the introduction of sin into the human consciousness. But sin, according to the tarot, is ego. And ego has enormous negative repercussions, consequences, effects on the psyche. By the time we come to the 8th card from the 6th, the ego has turned into a beast. That lion. That's the beast that is our ego. When we look at the card, the lion has its tongue sticking out. It's protruding. So here's where it becomes interesting, because that tongue that sticks out of the lion's mouth is very interesting, because it's a symbol that's saying that the lion is biting itself, that all of its pain and its suffering comes from itself, that ego generates the suffering, the pain, the consequences of its choices lead to suffering and to pain. The hands of a maiden surround its jaw. She's closing it. That's the implication of the symbol. But she's not using any force. She's very gentle. She's a young, innocent maiden, symbolized by her wardrobe, which is white, and she has a garland around her head, and there's an infinity symbol also above her. What it's saying is that in order for us to activate the chariot, which was provided for us as a vehicle to return to a state of innocence, that vehicle, the chariot, stands still and is waiting for us to activate it. And in order to activate it, we have to then overcome the beast within, those unregulated undisciplined desires, those desires that are always insatiable, that devour us with its needs, the need for more and more. Again, the ego is all about illusion. What is not will never satisfy the human psyche, the human consciousness. So in order for us to activate the chariot, so we have a vehicle back to heaven, to Eden, to a state of purity and higher consciousness, we have to tame the ego, the beast. And we do so with, and you'll see where now that infinity symbol becomes pertinent, relevant. That's the same symbol we saw above the magician in the magician's card. So it's giving us, again, symbolically a hint. It's about the will, your ability to focus, to self-discipline, to tame the wild mind, as Buddha would say, that monkey mind, that mind that is always seeking for more and more excitement, more and more gratification, because it's a bottomless pit. The ego is a bottomless pit that can never be filled. So what the tarot is saying, that to overcome our own lower nature, our beastly nature, we have to introduce the concept of intelligence, will, focused intent. When you see this card in a reading, what you need to immediately feel is that there are forces within you or within your querent that are beyond their control. And this is led to the specific downfall or the problem that they are presenting to you, or the situation that is now before them or before you now. So you have to understand that it is their responsibility, that they are the ones who are capable of redirecting the forces of the ego and taming those forces through the use of intelligence, rational intelligence, and will, the power of your will. When you overcome your baser desires, you actually become stronger. If you've noticed that when you overcome a habit, a bad habit, an addiction, no matter in what category that addiction may be, it might be having to do with drugs, alcohol, or just the way you treat people. You could be addicted to the ill treatment of people. That when you overcome these, you become strong and powerful. That's why the card is called Strength. There is no one that can give you that strength. You're the only one who's capable of overcoming yourself. And that's the entire intent of the card. It's, again, belongs to that Trinity, the 6th, 7th, and 8th card. It's the answer to the 6th card. From now on, we have a means by which to come back to a state of more innocence, of more joy, of more happiness, because everything is a consequence of that ego, that rampant, unfettered, uncontrolled ego. And every one of us suffers from it to some degree. The answer to this is the delicate and beautiful wisdom of that innocent maiden who simply wants to return to a state of bliss, of joy, where there is no violence, where one is satisfied with things as they are, the world as it is, people as they are, and people as they are beautiful. When we are in an egoless state, as we are when we're children, we're beautiful. There isn't any discord. Discord's an interesting concept too, because when you have music or notes that are discordant, confused, chaotic, they almost hurt your ears. They hurt your psyche. But those notes can be reorganized, reordered through intelligence to become harmonic, melodic, and beautiful. A fairly good synopsis of the card. I hope that helps you to understand it in a little bit more depth. And so I'll see you next time for our ongoing series on the Major Arcana. Thank you.